A good corporate citizen is one that cares about its employees and their community. And the Frieder family can definitely claim that title here in northeastern Pennsylvania. L. Peter Frieder can trace his company's roots back to his grandfather, Marcus Frieder, who emigrated from Hungary. He obtained a position with Klotz Throwing Company in New York City, a business that made yarn from raw silk products. In 1894, the factory burned, and Mr. Frieder suggested building in northeastern Pennsylvania, an opportunity to utilize the large untapped workforce of wives and daughters of local coal miners. The company moved to Carbondale, and under Marcus's leadership, the new company, General Silk, began to grow. The Depression and the introduction of synthetic fibers like rayon sent the company into bankruptcy, but with the entrepreneurial spirit of Marcus and his son Leonard, the company was reorganized in 1932, and General Textile Mills, later known as Gentex, came into existence. The company produced woven textiles for the fashion industry, but also produced silken bags used by the military during World War I to carry black powder. With the company forging relationships with the Defense Department, they expanded to produce silk parachutes and developed parachute boxes with a composite material that was high strength and low weight. The same ingenuity led the company to utilize a similar process to later develop protective military headgear for the U.S. troops. The Frieder family lived in the area for a short time, but moved back to New York where the company headquarters was located. It was there that the third generation, Leonard Peter Frieder Jr., was born. Growing up on Kings Point on the north shore of Long Island with his 5 sisters, Peter would visit the Lackawanna Valley often, on business trips with his dad, and summers at his dad's boyhood home on Crystal Lake.
We knew the area. We knew northeastern Pennsylvania. I used to come here often with my dad. I'd ride the Phoebe Snow with him because he was commuting, right. And that was, number one, I really enjoyed the commute. I enjoyed the railroad ride. It was fascinating. We'd often have dinner when he would bring me up on vacations. So I was familiar with the area, comfortable with the area, things I liked about it, things I've grown to really like about it as compared to growing up in a crowded urban center.
The family moved back to the area permanently in 1960, but Peter was about to go off to Virginia and major in psychology at Randolph-Macon College. He would work for Gentex during the summers, and upon graduation, decided to come back home and help his dad in the business.
So my plan wasn't necessarily to come back here to work full-time for my dad. It wasn't really an expectation on his part. He wanted me to come back, obviously, and work in the business, but it wasn't something that it was a mandate, certainly. I came back because I really enjoyed being here, found it interesting.
It was during that time that he was introduced to Laura Phillips, a native of Garden City, New Jersey, who was attending school near Allentown. The two hit it off, and after 2 years, they were married and settled in northeastern Pennsylvania, rearing 2 children. In 1972, at the age of 29, Peter would lose both parents in the span of 6 months. And now the weight of running a major, privately held, family-owned business was on his shoulders. Knowing his skill sets were not as broad as his father's, he recruited a top-notch team and began developing ways to diversify and grow the company. Development of new products, company acquisitions, aggressive research and development, and hundreds of patents and intellectual property has made Gentex Corporation a world-leading manufacturer of military, special forces, and other personal protective equipment that employs over 700 people.
Our employees are the company. So as a practical matter, they are our sustenance, they're our intellect, they're the being of the enterprise. So we're very committed to our workforce, and we know our workforce is part of the community. Those two things really work together. So our involvements in the community, my personal involvements, our commitment, as it were, is to make sure that bond is maintained.
Race for the Cure, Wounded Warrior, United Way, YMCA, Red Cross, and Special Olympics are just some of the many charities supported by the company and its employees. And with concentration on quality of life, education, promotion of a healthy lifestyle, and environmental stewardship, the importance of its goals to that of its employees is tantamount to its future success.
Our problem is retention, because we really need to be able to keep people here. And so, frankly, housing is a very critical component in that, and affordable housing certainly. But a comfortable lifestyle, a reasonably comfortable lifestyle, is also critical. And so those two things work hand in hand.
The fourth generation, Leonard P. Frieder III, Peter's son, is now president of the company. And with 6 grandsons, it appears that the Frieder family will be an active part of northeastern Pennsylvania for some time to come.
My congratulations to the Y and to the other recipients on this special evening. All of us have had a commitment to the Y and what it's accomplished in this recent past, and certainly over the decades that it's been involved in the community of Carbondale. So our best wishes from Gentex and the Foundation for continued success.